gusting wind. "Anyone comes from Thorpeness, they're a foreigner round here," Mrs. Hamilton the postmistress said, her voice drier still. "That's 'cause they are." The old man, who was propped comfortably against the counter, tranquilly relit his pipe. "Strange folks up Thorpeness. Strange folk. Never held wi' 'em myself." The woman cast an exasperated look at him. "Don't be so daft, Tom Blowers." He smiled a sly, brown-toothed smile. "He's coming across." The young woman settled the fidgeting child more firmly. "Hush up now, Jimmy." The stranger hesitated for a moment outside the door, then pushed it open. The bell jangled discordantly and fell to an echoing quiet. 3 pairs of questioning eyes met his. As courteously, he took off his hat. A lock of heavy black hair fell across his forehead. I'm sorry. I wonder—" They watched him, waiting. "I'm looking for Sandlings cottage. Mr. and Mrs. Kotsikas?" The accent was immediately and unmistakably recognizable as American, but with some underlying inflection. His pronunciation of the Greek surname with which so many locals professed to struggle was unthinking and easy. There was a short, interested silence, then, "Up the road a bit," the old man said, jerking his head. "Turn left, then left again at the bike." I beg your pardon?" Mrs. Hamilton took pity on him. "Mrs. Kotsikas leaves a bicycle at the end of the track that leads to the cottage, for getting down to the village when she needs to. Turn right out of the door here, follow the road up for a mile or so. There's a narrow lane on the left. There's no signpost. That doesn't go anywhere, you see. Just onto the heath and to a couple of houses. About a mile on down there, there's a dirt track. That's where she leaves the bike. You can't miss it. Just keep walking till you come to the cottages." "I see." He ducked his head a little awkwardly. "Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome." Turning away, he stopped. "Oh, do you sell cigarettes?" "Players and woodbine." "You wouldn't have 3 castles." She raised faintly caustic brows. "Players and woodbine," she repeated. Of course. I'm sorry. I'll take 20 players, please." He paid for the cigarettes, tucked them into the inner pocket of his overcoat, his good-quality overcoat, Mrs. Hamilton noted, picked up his small bag, settled his hat firmly on his head. "Thank you again." Mrs. Hamilton nodded. The girl with the baby unaccountably blushed as his eyes met hers. The old man eyed him, dourly impassive. A gust of wind disturbed the stuffy atmosphere, and then the bell jangled again as the stranger shut the door behind him. "Well, well," said Mrs. Hamilton, with impenetrable equanimity. The old man said nothing. A cloud of pipe smoke enveloped them both. Mrs. Hamilton tutted. The younger woman was at the window watching the tall figure trudge up the lane, shoulders hunched against the wind. She sighed a little as she turned away. Those eyes! Like a film star's. Honestly, just like a flippin' film star's. Made you feel really weird just to look at them. That Mrs. Kotsy whatever had better keep her visitor away from the village girls, that was for sure. Too many parents around here remembered the Yanks. She smiled a little, wryly. She had a few memories herself. "Half a pound of best back, please, Mrs. Hamilton." Nikos Kotsikas had been cold in New York. Very cold. Especially at the beginning when he first arrived from Greece. He had seen that busy metropolis brought to a standstill by snowdrifts that engulfed automobiles and immobilized the public transport system. He had walked in a central park of sculpted ice and sub-zero temperatures. He had scurried back to his grandmother's elegant centrally heated apartment through blizzards as blinding as any in the Arctic. He never remembered being as bone-cold as he was now. The wind blew in bitter gusts direct from the North Sea, the sea that, grey as the skies above it and white-capped with wind-lashed spume, lay perhaps a mile behind him, crashing with constant and primeval force onto its long shingle beaches, visible occasionally through the gaps in the leafless hedge that lined the narrow, deserted road. The sky was vast and dense with billowing slate-grey cloud. He hooked his bag onto his shoulder and shoved